Oh my goodness, folks, I need you to sit down for this one because what I'm about to share with you is absolutely mind blowing. The Duchess of Deflection is back in the headlines, and this time she's managed to create perhaps the most embarrassing self own in celebrity history. Meghan Markle, who once envisioned herself as Hollywood royalty and humanitarian icon all rolled into one, is now threatening legal action against Megyn Kelly for daring to lampoon her Netflix disaster with Love, Megyn. Now, I know you guys are excited for more, but before we delve into further discussion, if you haven't subscribed, I mean, come on, guys, what are you waiting for? Hit like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell ASAP. So now, here's the kicker that has me absolutely floored. Kelly's parody of season one's trailer wasn't just sharper and wittier than the real thing, it was more popular and more likable. Let that sink in for a moment. The satire outperformed the actual show. That's Megan's true nightmare right there. A world where people would rather watch someone make fun of her than watch her actual content. What we're witnessing isn't just a simple celebrity spat. This is the slow motion implosion of a brand built entirely on victimhood, control, and a dangerously fragile ego. Instead of brushing off Kelly's satire like any confident public figure would do, Meghan allegedly picked up the phone and ordered her legal team to send a message. That message was simple. If Megyn Kelly even thinks about parodying season 2 of With Love Megyn, she'll face a lawsuit. Can you believe the absolute insecurity on display here? The sheer desperation? In the PR world, threatening legal action over comedy is like throwing gasoline on a campfire. It doesn't kill the flames, it ignites an absolute inferno. By trying to muzzle Kelly, Megyn guaranteed two things. One, every media outlet would run this story. Two, Kelly's parody would become even more famous. It's the classic Streisand effect when you try to suppress something and end up making it exponentially more popular. And it's not like Meghan hasn't been warned about this. Her past legal battles, whether against British tabloids or private individuals, have often spectacularly backfired, painting her as litigious, thin skinned, and completely unable to tolerate even the mildest criticism. But this time it's worse. She's not suing over a breach of privacy or a factual dispute, she's suing over a joke. This is where the humiliation becomes impossible to ignore. Kelly's parody of With Love Megyn season 1 trailer didn't just make people laugh, it racked up more views, more shares, and more engagement than the actual Netflix trailer Megyn spent millions producing. Think about that for a second. The copy outshined the original. The audience voted with their clicks and their comments, and their verdict was crystal clear. Megyn Kelly's cutting satire felt fresher, more relatable, and definitely more entertaining than Meghan Markle's carefully staged, overproduced reality light show. And here's what has to be absolutely devastating for Megyn. Viewers weren't just laughing at Kelly's parody, they were agreeing with it. Comment after comment echoed the same sentiment. Megyn nailed it. This is exactly how Markle comes across. That kind of unfiltered audience reaction isn't just mocking Megyn's work, it's mocking her entire persona, her carefully constructed image, the very essence of how she presents herself to the world. We need to talk about the timing here because it reveals everything about Megyn's mindset. The legal threats came before Megyn Kelly even hinted at doing a season 2 parody. That means Megyn wasn't reacting to an attack, she was preemptively trying to stop one. This is fear, pure and simple. Fear that the sequel to Kelly's mockery could obliterate any chance of her Netflix revival landing. Fear that the public is more excited to watch her be made fun of than to watch her actual content. The reality is that Kelly has mastered a kind of satire Megyn can't fight. Satire that blends humor with documented facts. And Megyn knows it. She can't spin it, she can't edit it, and she certainly can't charm it away. Behind closed doors, Meghan's legal tantrum isn't just making headlines, it's making Hollywood roll its eyes. Multiple insiders have whispered that streaming executives are tired of dealing with her control freak tendencies. Every project reportedly becomes a negotiation nightmare. Endless script approvals, micromanaging edits, and demands for brand polishing that slow production to a crawl. Let's be real here. Netflix and other platforms care about one thing: content that connects with audiences. And if the buzz around With Love Megyn is more about parodies than praise, that's a flashing red light for executives deciding whether to greenlight another season. They're in the business of entertainment, not ego maintenance. By publicly overreacting to Kelly, Megyn isn't just alienating the public, she's confirming to industry power players that she's difficult to work with, and Hollywood has a long, long history of quietly freezing out difficult talent. Here's where the context becomes absolutely lethal for Meghan's brand. Her credibility isn't just being attacked by Kelly, it's been eroded for years thanks to persistent questions about her Archwell Foundation. Critics have pointed to vague financial reports, underwhelming project impact, and an uncanny knack for timing charity announcements right before major PR moves. So, when she threatens to sue a journalist for a parody, it's not even seen as a dignified defense. It's seen as another power play from someone with a history of prioritizing image over substance. And make no mistake, charity scandals are absolute poison in the court of public opinion. The public can forgive creative flops. They can even forgive personal feuds. But when your philanthropic ventures are viewed as self serving PR props, every public fight you pick becomes a reminder of the bigger question: what does Meghan Markle actually stand for? Helping people or helping herself? Once upon a time, Meghan Markle had an army of media defenders, magazines, lifestyle blogs, talk shows, ready to spin every controversy as a misunderstanding or a smear campaign. But that fortress is crumbling, quietly, strategically, and without press releases. Her allies are stepping back. Why? Because credibility is currency, and defending Meghan has become too expensive. When every statement in her defense gets met with fact checks, side by side contradictions, and viral memes from Kelly's camp, sticking your neck out for Meghan is now a reputational risk. Editors and producers are in the business of influence, not martyrdom. They can sense the public mood shifting, and they're not willing to sink with their ship. In media, silence is the loudest betrayal, and Meghan is now hearing it from the very outlets that once anointed her as a progressive royalty. If Meghan thought this was just an isolated skirmish, the polls tell a much harsher truth. In both the UK and US, her favorability has nosedived. The most devastating blow? Younger audiences. The demographics she worked hardest to court are tuning her out in droves. This isn't about royal gossip anymore, it's about public fatigue. The endless victim narratives, the contradictions between we want privacy and here's our latest tell all, and the overproduced Netflix projects that feel like extended PR reels. It's all worn painfully thin. Megyn Kelly's parody landed because it tapped into that fatigue. The laugh wasn't just as Meghan's expense, it was a sigh of relief from an audience tired of being sold the same glossy, self pitying storyline over and over again. What makes Kelly's approach so dangerous for Meghan is that it's not slapstick, it's surgical. Every joke in that parody was rooted in an observable truth. Meghan's tendency to center herself in every cause, the polished but empty monologues, the curated, relatable moments that feel anything but spontaneous. Kelly didn't just lampoon Meghan's show, she dissected the formula behind it, exposing why it feels so hollow. And because the parody was fact based, Meghan can't dismiss it as misogyny or a tabloid cruelty. The material came straight from Meghan's own production. Kelly just held up the mirror. That's why the audience connected so deeply. They weren't just laughing, they were nodding along. And in the world of public opinion, agreement is far more dangerous than amusement. Meghan's entire response to the situation, threats of lawsuits, whispered accusations of unfair targeting, fits a well worn pattern. It's the same strategy she used for years: position herself as the victim of an unjust attack, mobilize sympathy, and discredit the critic. The problem? It stopped working. Not because people suddenly stopped caring about injustice, but because the inconsistencies in her narratives have stacked so high. You can't claim you're above the tabloid circus while actively fueling it with lawsuits, stage paparazzi shots, and tell all specials. Megyn Kelly understood this, and her parody played right into it. By exaggerating Meghan's woe is me tone, Kelly made it harder for Megyn to play that card without looking like she was reenacting the satire. It's the ultimate trap when your critics make you look so self parodic that any real reaction just confirms their post. Perhaps the most telling subplot in this entire drama is Prince Harry's silence. Historically, Harry has been quick to rush to Meghan's defense, whether in interviews, public statements, or even through legal filings. But this time, nothing. Not a word, not a tweet, not even a subtle nod of support in public appearances. In the royal gossip world, silence isn't neutral. It's loaded. It raises questions. Is Harry quietly advising Meghan to back off? Is he embarrassed by the overreaction? Or is there a deeper tension at home about how these endless feuds are eroding what's left of their public goodwill? If Meghan was hoping to project unity in this fight, Harry's absence signals the opposite. Possible cracks in the Sussex brand itself. And in the celebrity economy, a fractured brand is often the beginning of the end. The most astonishing aspect of the whole fiasco is how completely unnecessary it was. If Meghan had simply ignored Kelly's parody, or better yet, laughed along with it, the whole thing would have faded within days. Instead, by threatening legal action, she's ensured it will live on in the internet infamy forever. It's PR 101. Don't amplify your critics by overreacting to them. That chicken Nick table moment from Kelly's parody has now become a cultural reference point, with people sharing it every time Meghan makes a public appearance. The "Don't laugh at me, that's my chick Nick table" line has become a meme that follows Meghan everywhere. She's inadvertently created her own punchline, and no amount of legal threats can put that genie back in the bottle. And that's where this gets even darker, because what's coming next might not be another parody or another lawsuit, but something Meghan can't control at all. Whispers are already circulating in Hollywood about a project that could make Megyn Kelly's roast look like a gentle ribbing. Potentially, a documentary or expose that digs much, much deeper into the contradictions and controversies that have followed the Sussexes since their royal exit. The ultimate irony in all this is that Meghan's Netflix show was supposed to be rehabilitating to her image, to show her as a warm, relatable, and authentic lady. Instead, between the show's lukewarm reception and her heavy handed response to criticism, she managed to reinforce every negative perception, controlling, hypersensitive, and completely disconnected from how normal people live and think. As her legal team prepares for a battle they almost certainly can't win, parody is broadly protected as free speech in the US. Meghan might want to consider a radical alternative. Actually, authenticity. Not the carefully curated Instagram filtered version she's been selling, but the messy, imperfect reality that actual humans live. Because right now, the only person making Meghan Markle look bad isn't Megyn Kelly, it's Meghan Markle herself. Ta ta, and bye for now.